You know, there's something that separates the hobbyist and the professional when it comes to fabricating in general, building a car, or whatever you may be doing. And that is knowing what your standards are and knowing when to throw the crap that doesn't meet your standards in the trash or cutting it back off and starting over. That's what really separates a good professional fabricator versus a hobbyist. Because a hobbyist will probably, it's good enough, let it go. And I'm not chasing perfection by no means, but when something doesn't meet my standards, I chop it back off and start over. And that's exactly what happened to me. A few days ago, I was welding my back bars in for my roll cage in the Falcon, and I started having a issue with my welds. I was starting to get a lot of porous welds, and anybody that knows anything about roll cages, that's a no-no. Can't have any kind of porous welds whatsoever. So I was very frustrated at that point. I cleaned up my mess, and I didn't touch it for 2 days. I just thought about it. And my first plan of action was to come in here, die grind out all the welds as good as possible, get all the contaminants cleaned out of the filler, and see if I could lay a nice clean weld once I got that done. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Even after I cleaned it all up, there was still some contamination where the welds were. And so last night I had to make the decision of cutting my back bars out of the car again and starting all over. And that's what I've been doing today. I'll show you real quick. As you can see, I've already started fitting the passenger side down bar. I still got to cut the angle in the tube to sit on the plate flat in the rear. And I still have to weld and bend that plate to fit the contour of the trunk. I cut the plate and everything back out of the floor. I'm starting 100% over. It ended up being a issue with my TIG setup. My gas lens actually got a little bit of slag stuck to the screen, and the only thing I can figure is when it was getting hot, it was blowing microscopic parts of contaminant off my welds and making it pop holes. And anyways, today I cleaned up everything, put all new stuff in my TIG, and it laid down a decent test weld, no problems. So I think I'm good to go in that department. But now it's just back to fitting bars and getting them welded back in place. As much as anybody, I hate taking a few steps back, but it didn't meet my, level of what I thought I was capable of. It didn't meet my standards. And that's what I wanted to point out on here is not everything always goes 100% to plan. You watch all these videos on YouTube or Instagram, whatever, and everybody looks like they're just some badass professional 24/7, but we all have our bad days. And the real professional comes out when you can make that decision of cutting the crap back off that didn't meet your standards and starting over.